Let me welcome you again to our Azure Community Conference, and I am proud that we are part of the India largest Azure conference. So today, I'm going to talk about how you can power the Microsoft 360 Defender with the Azure Sentinel. Uh, Once you set up the integration with the Microsoft 365 Defender and the Sentinel, then it becomes a full-fledged cloud native SIEM, SOAR, and an enterprise defense solution. So before we start further, let me tell you a small story. So if you are from the uh, 90s or the 80s background, then you must have seen over the TVs, right? The old movies uh, where the ducats used to come on the horses and uh, they used to like do a theft in the bank, or they used to rob a lot of rich people. But during that all process there used to be a very risky scenarios for their life as well. There used to be a gunfight and lot many things, so there used to be a big risk for them. Now what happened is those people have like their generations who are still doing the same kind of things, they have adopted the digital transformation. Now they thought, why to risk their life? I mean, if you can do everything with the help of the computer, with one computer and one good internet connection, then why to risk the life? And with this way we can earn a lot. So the generations, I mean the people who were working with them uh, during those times, they have also adopted the digital transformation, and now they are doing the digital theft. They are kind of disrupting the digital information. If they have to rob a bank or anything, they don't have to do a gunfight or anything. That can also be done using a one laptop and a one computer. So now our present state is we have to do a protection. We need a protection from these all cyber criminal. And with the way we are going on, uh, like due to this COVID and due to the uh, ask of the modern infrastructure, uh, things are becoming more and more digital. Earlier we used to say handful of employees used to work from home, or it used to be a very big thing. I mean, if somebody is working from home, it used to be a very big thing for him. But now almost everyone is working from home. uh, Companies are adopting more digital transformation, and they want their employee to work from anywhere. So to do that, we need a very robust and a very strong and a very secure infrastructure, because threat actors, the person who perform the attacks, right, they are also adopting the digital transformation. They are adopting all kind of sophisticated method to disrupt the resources which are there in the organization. They have their own way of identifying the vulnerable resources. They also do the analysis, right? The way robbers or the thieves, like the way they do the or they assess the area, they also have their things of doing the assessment of the environment. And uh, what we need is we have to protect our system from this kind of uh, assessment, or we have to kind of keep an eye on the intruders, or keep an eye on some unwanted activity. So like the threat landscape has changed completely. Like the way it used to work in 2010 or 2015, there we used to have handful of attacks, and it was very easy to kind of analyze those attacks, right? But now it's becoming more and more difficult. Although we have a very sophisticated tool, but if this tool works in a silo, then uh, we are very limited. I mean, we cannot uh, response to each and every threat. We cannot protect our organization. So the need of the present condition is that we have to do integration between these tools, and how efficiently we can utilize the the we will be more protected from these kind of threats. Now I hope it was a good story. Now let's move to the technical part. So uh, I talked about lot of threats, lot of digital disruptions, right? So why we actually need the protection? Why we need uh, these all things, right? So let's take a simple example. If companies is adopting the digital transformation, they also uh, aim to earn more from the digital transformation, and the entire digital transformation can be impacted by a small threat. I mean, if some kind of threat happens, some kind of uh, attack happens over any platform, then it actually disrupt your business, and the more important thing is it's going to bring up the bad name to the company. For say there is a food delivery company and somebody hacks his database and somebody hacks his username, then definitely it's going to hit his revenue. If that company is listed in the stock market, then its reputation, its stock, its valuation, everything will get disrupted. So to protect from these all things, right, we have a tool, we have a category of tool that's called XDR. That's, we can call that as a extended detection and response. Some people call that as a cross detection and response as well. So it's a tool that has a capability of collect and correlate the data across multiple security layers, emails, endpoint servers, cloud workload, and network. And with this, it will allow you to faster detect of the threat and do the improved investigation and response times through the security analysis. Now, what is the exact definition of the XDR? So if we go by the Gartner call it as a software as a service tool. It could be the vendor specific. There are a lot of vendors that provide the XDR tool. Uh, so it's a vendor specific security threat detecting and incident response tool that natively integrates with the multiple security products into a cohesive security operation system. So what XDR can do? XDR can do the identify the threats that are highly sophisticated, all kind of modern tool. It has a ability to identify all the modern attacks. It can track the threats across the multiple system components, help you in improving the detection and response, uh, speed your response process, or it can kind of investigate more efficiently and effectively. Um so we can call it like what XDR can do. XDR enables the organization to prevent successfully at cyber attacks as well as simplify and strengthen the security process. It knows how to block the known and unknown threat with the powerful endpoint protection. Uh, it can help you and gain visibility across all your network endpoints and lot of things, right? Now coming to the what Microsoft has. So under the XDR platform, Microsoft provides Microsoft 365 Defender. So as we go by the definition of the XDR, Microsoft provides all the capability that one XDR tool can can provide. So it's a pre and post. You can call it as a pre and a post detection, a tool that can like help you in detecting the breach, defend all kind of breach. It's a pre and uh, post-breach enterprise defense suites that natively coordinate and prevents investigation and response across the endpoint, email, applications, and lot many things. So Microsoft has a Microsoft Defender has a capability to protect your identities like the machines or the endpoints that are there, um, endpoints, cloud apps, email, and documents. It has lot of things. So it what it do is it leverages the Microsoft 365 security portfolio to automatically analyze threat data across the domain, building a complete picture of each attack in a single dashboard. Uh, it can help you in stopping the attack before they happen. It can help you in detect and automate across the domain. It will provide you the hunting capabilities as well. If you want to hunt a threat, you can do it with the Microsoft 365 Defender. Uh, small information about the Defender suite. So I'm sure, like you must have read it somewhere, that there is some naming convention change. So that happened like I think 1.5 year ago. So all the Microsoft threat protection, it will be known as a Microsoft 365 Defender. Defender for endpoint. So Defender for endpoint, earlier it used to be known as a MDATP. It will be known as a Defender for endpoint. So it uses the endpoint behavioral sensors, cloud securities, analytics, and threat intelligence to help enterprises uh, to, to protect their networks, prevent, detect, investigate, and respond to the advanced threats. Uh, Coming to the Defender for Office, so earlier it used to be known as Office 365 ATP. It's a cloud-based email filtering service that helps protect an unknown malware and viruses. Defender for Identity. Uh, it used to be known as a Azure Advanced Threat Protection, but now uh, it's uh, it will be known as a Microsoft Defender for Identity. So it helps you and protect on-premises identities, correlate signals with the Microsoft 365. It will help you to eliminate on-premises vulnerability. So in this session, we are going to talk about how we can do the integration of the Microsoft Defender and empower the SOCs. So we are going to do the integration of the Microsoft Defender with the Azure Sentinel. Basically, we wanted to set up an integration with the SIEM tool and SO. And as far as I know, Azure Sentinel is the best in class SIEM tool that is available at the moment in the market. It it's a it has capabilities. It has all the capabilities of SIEM. It has a capability to provide you a automation. It can collect the data from the I mean, to be precise, it can collect the telemetry from the third party cloud, from the Microsoft cloud, or from the anywhere. Like it can easily integrate with the firewalls and many things. So it's a modern day tool. I mean, the advantages with the Azure Sentinel is you don't have to manage the SIEM environment. It is capable of doing it on own Microsoft because it's hosted on the cloud. So the cloud provider team will manage it. You don't have to worry about the license, or you don't have to worry about the elasticity of the tool. It is good enough to handle any kind of data volume. So, like once you set up this Defender and the Azure Sentinel, it's actually help you in setting the security operations center. So once you can do the integration between these best in class products, so both the products are from the Microsoft, and it will be very easy to set up the integration, right? So once the your integration is over, uh, or once your integration is successful, SOC can become more predictive, proactive, preventive. I mean, they can be a more preventive. So basically, what happens is like SOCs are always security or operation centers are always burdened with the alerts and the incidents, right? So there are a lot of data that are related to how many incidents at an average they get, but always they are buried under the incident. So they also need some time to do an analysis, right? When you have a lot of incidents, when you don't know how to identify the false positive or how to segregate the incident, then it becomes very difficult. And on top of that, like you need a correlation with the database. uh, Correlation between the data that is collected from the multiple sources. So once you do the integration between this XDR and the SIEM, and more precisely between the Microsoft uh, Defender and the Azure Sentinel, then it can help you in stopping the attack. I mean, before the attack can happen, both the tools can give you analysis. You can identify someone is trying to seek into your information, or seek into your organization, or trying to identify the threat vector in your organization. You can prevent those all things. It can help you in detecting the threats across the domain by integrating the threat data for rapid and complete response. And it will, more importantly, it will allow security team to take a breath, and it'll give them a time to do a proactive hunting for the sophisticated across the attack that can happen across the domains. So once you have like for the SIEM, we have the Azure Sentinel, and for the XDR we have the Defender. There is a uh, inside the Defender we have a Azure Defender as well that can help you in protecting the Azure resources as well. So once you have integrated, it's gonna give you the comprehensive security. It can help you in identify the advanced threats. It can help you in prioritizing the incident. So you, as a SOC, when you work on the SOC, you have to generate a, a thesis, or say a skill, how you can identify which incident should get the priority and which are the less prioritized incidents. So once you do the integration, you can easily prioritize these kind of incidents. And more importantly, you can build the automation. So most of the small kind of attack can be automatically tackled once you have the proper automation inbuilt, right? So now, uh, coming to the the portals and everything. So I'm sure like you must be knowing how the Defender portal looks like. So this is the Defender portal. I'm gonna open it, and it'll gonna give us the information about the security scores, lot of things. I mean, I can view the incidents and the alerts that are generated over the Defender portal. So here I can see like I have configured few sample alerts so that, I mean, I can give you a demo. So these are not the very serious kind of alert. These are just a small kind of incidents that are generated. Okay, so coming back to the Defender portal, so here we have these all incidents generated, some related to the network, some related to the mailboxes, or some related to some script execution. So I have defined Bangalore location is my head offices, and I only want the VIP user to log in from these all locations. So if some normal user or anyone logs from the Bangalore location, I just have to review the things, because it's my prestigious location, it's my prestigious office. So I don't want anyone to log in from the Bangalore. But if someone logs in, there will be alert generated so that I can analyze who is logging from the Bangalore location, and is he a legitimate user, because legitimate user to access my high priority resources or high valued resources. So there are lot kind of alerts, but when I start doing the analysis, maybe i I might be able to get the information uh, that is needed to troubleshoot in these simple kind of alerts. Yeah, it's very possible that I may have enough of information over the Defender portal. But when you get a very high, a very serious kind of attack, you may find that the information is not complete, or you may need some integration with some other kind of a tool, or you may need to do some correlation over the data. So let's look into the Defender. So here's my score, and a lot of things are there. This is my endpoint thing, and this is my security center. So these are the Defender portal where I can see my incidents and lot of things. I can do the threat analytics, but then very important thing is I will be needing two two SOCs, like the two incident queues. One will be for the Defender and one will be for the Azure Sentinel. But once I do the integration, I can have the single incident queue. So here is the Azure Sentinel. Uh, this is the workspace which I configured for our conference. So I will just log into it, and I did some correlation earlier to set up the thing. So once you log in here, you can see all the incidents that are generated in the Sentinel for rest of the thing, as well as the incident that are generated for the Defenders for the XDR platform. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. So let it load. Otherwise, you can see, right? Like right now, I have a zero alerts. I have a three incidents, and this kind of graph I can see a lot of information is coming. These are the incidents, right? uh, so if you have the separate Defender as well as the separate SIEM, then you might have to manage the two different incident queues. But once you set up the integration, uh, everything can be done using one single queue, uh, one single incident queue. Here you can see we have uh, the e- the incident that are generated for the Defender as well as the other kind of incidents. Right, now the big question is how you will do the integration. What are the prerequisites? So now to do this kind of integration, there is like this can be done completed in the minutes, even in less than a minute. Only thing is you need a valid license for the Microsoft 365 Defender. If you are working in, like if you're doing it for the organizations, you may approach the Microsoft and you can take their help for understanding the licensing. Lot of kind of the Microsoft also customize these licensing things, or can help you in getting more with the licensing. And another important piece is you have to be the global administrator or a security administrator to do the integration. If you are like if you don't have these privileges, then you may have to open some incident or some case within your organization to get someone on the call who has these privileges. And believe me, it's not going to take more than a minute. So in one meeting, you can set up these all things. So let's move to how we can do the integration. So if you don't know how to create a Sentinel workspace, you can go to the Sentinel, and from here you can create the Sentinel. So basically, Sentinel doesn't have its own workspace. It uses the log analytics capability for creating the workspace. So either you can create the new log analytics workspace, or you can link it with the existing log analytics workspace. So I will just give you a 1 minute demo how to create a workspace. So here you have to define the resource group. So I will just call it as a demo Azure Community Conference 2021, and I'm going to just put it in the East US region. And simply I'll do the review and create. And then once my workspace, log analytics workspace is ready, I can link it with the Azure Sentinel. So it'll hardly take 1 or 2 minutes. So here you can get the deployment status. So this deployment process is going on. It's very easy to create the configure the Sentinel as well, or to configure the log analytics. Basically, log analytics is something that do the uh, end-to-end monitoring. It can help you with the availability monitoring. It can help you with the performance monitoring of the resources or the application. Log analytics is a part of the Azure Monitor. So anyways, now our workspace is ready. We can just integrate it with the Sentinel. And once you do this, add your Sentinel will be ready. So let's see, it'll not gonna take 1 minute. So here you can see you have best in class SIEM tool ready. So how easy it is, like if you compare it with the on-premises SIEM tool, that where you have to configure the databases, you have to configure the licensing, lot of things, machines, servers, everything you have to configure, and you need a very big team to manage those all environment. But here with few clicks, you can do all the things. So this is my Sentinel configuration is ready. So this is how you can create it, but I'm just gonna go to my pre-configured Sentinel workspace because that has lot many things that we can see. So overview page, once you are at the overview page, you can see the snapshots, like how many events you have collected, how many alerts you have, how many incidents you have. You can see some recently generated incident. Here you can see lot many graph that can tell you about the increase in the in, increase in the data, the telemetry, or you can have this world map also. So if you, any potential malicious activity is getting performed, then you can see it over the this world map as well. Okay, now coming how you can do the integration between the Defender and the Azure Sentinel. So what you have to do is you have to go to the configuration, and basically here you have to configure the data connectors. So if you are running the SIEM, right, you need some data, right? You need some resources that can send the data. So data can be collected into your SIEM using this data connectors. So data connectors are someone that's going to collect the telemetry from the devices or from the endpoints or from the services. So there are a lot of data connectors available at the moment. There are around 116, and it's gonna, like, it's not something that you always have the 116 data connector. In future, this number can go up to anything, like every month you will see increase in the data connectors. So our thing is we have to configure the Defender thing. So you have to select the Defender. At the moment it's in a preview, but very soon it will be out of the preview. So what you have to do, just select the data connector Defender and open this connector page. So open the connector page, and once you open this connector page, it will have all kind of instructions that are needed. So here you can see all the instructions that are needed, and here you can read about the read about the defender, I mean about this data connector. So what this data connector is going to do is a Microsoft, it'll tell you what is Microsoft Defender. And once you integrate, you can have these many workbooks are kind of a dashboards, you will have these kind of queries, you will have lot of analytical rules that can generate the incident, and these are the data type for which you will be having the data, right? So what you have to do is, I mean, it's always good to read about these all things, and I have all the privileges, like I have all the permissions, I'm the global admin, so I'm not getting any error. But if you not a global administrator or a security administrator, then these things might be grayed out, or you will see these things in the red. So once you met all the prerequisite, you met licensing criteria, just come here and simply do the integration. So uh, you can see, right, like you have to first click on this connect incident. If you don't want the duplicate of the incident, you can uncheck this box and click on connect incident. So once you click on the connect the incident, what it is going to do is whatever the incident that are generated over the defender portal, those all will be arrived into the Sentinel. And if you want to collect all kind of data sources that are there in the defender, you can select all of them from here. Once you configure uh, these data sources or data types, then you will have the these data types in your Sentinel as well, and then you can correlate with the other tables, right? So for say these all brings up the device specific information, device info, like information about the machines, lot of things are there. And in the same way, we have it for office also, email events, and lot of things are there. So once you do this one, check these all things, you will have this data in your Sentinel workspace. So it's just doing the validation. Hardly it takes a minute or two. So once your validation is done, your configuration will be ready for the deployment. So while we are doing this, let me generate some test alert on my one virtual machine. So I'm just gonna run some PowerShell that will help me in generating some incident. Let me run some command. And let me send out some malicious email as well. So I have configured some sensors. So what I will do is, okay, I will just forward this email to my users. Sorry, let me pick up something. This email to the users K1, and then I will just try to attach some executable so that this email will get identified as some threat or something. So, and I will just put some URL here. Say, let me open some. Okay, so I generated this email. So within a minute or two, we will have some alerts generated in our environment, and you will see those all alerts are arrived into the Sentinel as well. So yeah, so once your integ integration is done, you will see like something like this one. You can go to the next steps also. Here you will have uh, some workbooks or say some of the sample queries that you can do for doing the integration, or you can use these analytical rules for uh, generating the incident. So let's see, this integration is generated. So this Microsoft 365 Defender, it can bring all the uh, incidents that are generated over the Defender portal to the Sentinel portal. It can help you in getting a lot of telemetries, data types, everything into the Sentinel. So let's look into the thing. So once you do this setup, you will have capability of doing the incident integration. As I said, you can stream all your Defender incidents into the Sentinel. You can do the correlation. These incidents are like a bidirectional sync. Either if you are making any changes to the incident on the Defender portal or over the Sentinel portal, both will be reflected at both the places, right? So we have these many data connectors. So one which we have configured like 365 Defender. So the difference between these rest of the connectors is this: once you configure the 365 Defender, it has capabilities of bringing the data types, incident, everything. But if you choose any of the individual incident individual data connectors like this one, then what it'll gonna do is it'll only get you the alert or the security incident, not everything. So it'll only get you the alert. So these can also be configured, or you can same way if you select this identity. So it'll only get you the security alerts that are generated, not everything. So these are kind of already configured. Okay, so let me go back. So uh, as I said, like we have the connector capabilities. Connector can pull the data. In the same way, the Defender connectors are there, and these can be configured. So here you can fetch the alerts, you can fetch uh, the telemetry, you can create the rules and lot many things. So these were the prerequisites. So let's first see what all data we are getting that are related to the Defender. So let's see logs. I can go to the logs, and here let me run some query. I'll say search Defender and say distinct dollar table. So it's going to give me the list of the table in which I have the keyword Defender. So these are some of the tables. So let's look into the device event. So device event at the moment is showing me the information which is very much specific to the XDR, but I need to correlate it with the other things, right? So I process some of the PowerShell command uh, over my machine. So let's try to do some kind of correlation. So this is a device event, and the Sentinel that is uh, helping me in collecting the event log. So I'm just trying to do a correlation between this event table as well as the device events. So events are connected using the SIEM. This is just an example. In a practical world, you may have to do a integration between bigger scenarios or bigger tables, but for a time being, I'm just using this event table. So event is a event log table that's collecting the system specific event logs from the machine, and device event is something that's gonna getting me information using the XDR. Now, how you can do the correlation? Either you can do some join statement like this one. So here, what I did is I have done some filtration. So PowerShell command that I executed. So if I just run this command individually, let me run this KQL query here. So this is gonna tell me about the PowerShell information. Now I just wanted to understand when this is executed, is there anything into the system or the uh, application or anything into the event log? So what I will do is I'll just try to do the join. So right now I'm just using the very basic join statement. Uh, Only thing is when I run this query here, when I run only this query, then the name I don't have any computer name, a column that can be used as a computer name. So here it is a device name, and in the event it is a computer name. So I might have to, like, if I go this way, I may not be able to join because there is no column, common column, right? So what I did is I have just extended one computer and uh, converted this into the upper cases, because the issue that I see is here the device name is in the small, in the lower case, and when I run it for the event, they are into the mixed cases. So what I will do is I will just convert both of them into the upper cases, right? So here, you see I converted into the upper cases, in the upper cases, and once I do the join, I can have the correlation between the system event logs as well as the device event, right? So let's say, if we are getting, so I'm also collecting the syslog from the Linux environment. So this is a syslog. The name of this computer, my first RHEL, it's a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So let me search in what all tables we are collecting the data for the RHEL distinct dollar table. Okay, perfect. So see, I am collecting the data into the device event, device info, device log on event as well. So these all are the XDR specific tables. Let me just see what are there in the device log on events. So this is information about uh, the account, right? So let's do a correlation between this one and the syslog. So let me see if I have anything in the syslog that can map it to the user. No, I think I can just do the mapping at the level of the host name. So what I will do is I will just pick up the something called device events. Okay, let me do a device. So here, what I you can do is device name contains. So I will just include. So if you like, if you're new to these queries, then you can make use of this UI for generating the queries. Simply, you can use these options, include, you can do the extend operations as well. So I did this thing where device name equal to this. And then uh, you can shorten these all things, or device event distinct device name. Okay. Can use extend what syslog is using. So syslog might be using something like host name. Extend host name equal to device name, and then do a join syslog on host name. So we may not be able to see the data at the moment because some more formatting is needed, but basically once you have these all kind of data, it will allow you the options of doing the correlations. For example, like if you have some email I created one query for the email information as well. So uh, email attachment is there, and then I can do the integration. I mean the correlation with the UEBA, like UEBA. Uh, User entity behavior analytics is there into the Azure Sentinel. I can do it if we are collecting the sign-in logs, right? If you are connecting the sign-in logs in the Azure Active Directory, then you can do the correlation between these all things as well. So it will allow you to do the correlation, and more importantly, you will have one single queue where you can view the incidents. So here, this is a single queue. Here I can view the incident that are generated into the in the Defender portal. So once you select this incident, it will directly allow you, either you can work it using the Azure Sentinel, or if you want to do the analysis over uh, the Defender portal, then you can simply just one click and it will take you to the Defender portal as well. So you can gather the information here over the Defender portal as well, or like see, you can see three alerts are generated, three users are impacted, three users are impacted, these three users got an email, or like it's a external email found, or these three mailboxes are there. And here also, once you start doing your full analysis, full detailed analysis, then you can view it, these all information over the Sentinel as well. So here it will give you the name of the computer as well. You can like do some kind of a further analysis. So once you have these kind of incidents, right, it'll uh, uh, you can do a lot of kind of correlations. You can have the single unique incident queue and lot many things, right? Now coming to the presentation. So yeah, uh, like if you want to do further customization over the incident, then if you want to create some analytical rule and you want to do some kind of customization, then you can create this using the Microsoft incident creation rules. So this incident creation rule is something, it will make use of the existing security services. So I'll say uh, ACC Defender alert, and I will just choose bring the alert from the Defender for endpoint. So whatever the alerts that are generated into the Defender for endpoint, that will be that can be integrated into the Sentinel. So these things are actually done using the data connector, but here I just want some kind of customization. So I just want to collect only the high or say medium alert. I don't want to collect low or information, right? And I can apply specific kind of a alert, or I can do specific kind of alerting, right? So I will just do this, review and create. So my incident creation rule is also ready. Now it can bring up the data from the Defender portal, right? Uh, so this is how you can bring this configure the incident creation rule, and it will help you in bringing the data, right? uh, Bidirectional sync we have seen here. I mean, you can make any changes to the incident, right? Like you can add a comment or anything, the same will get reflected to say test alert, please ignore, and I will just assign, change it to the active, apply. Let's change the severity to high, apply, and owner, I will just assign it to. So now whatever the change I did, after some time, the same thing will be reflected to the to to this portal. It may take 1 or 2 minutes or around 5 minutes, and but then it can be reflected here as well. So that's called bidirectional sync. It'll allow you to do the bidirectional sync as well. Uh, and the most important thing is the hunting capabilities, right? Hunting is something like you can do the proactive search to identify how many resources are compromised, or what all at the stage that can be compromised, right? So if you have these all tables, these all are few tables that comes from the Defender. We were doing one example here, right, when we were trying to write some correlation queries. uh, Once you have this device info, device events. You can do the uh, correlation over the Sentinel tables. One example was here. I was just trying to do the correlation between the email attachment, or uh, there is heartbeat table also, like when attack happened on the machine, was that machine able to send out the heartbeat? Those kind of a correlation can be done here. So in nutshell, like once you set up this kind of integration, it's gonna help your SOCs, right? SOC will have one single incident queue. They have the options to do the automation as well. They have lot many options, right? So once you set up this kind of integration, you are actually powering the defender tool, as well as uh, the SIEM tool for doing the for enabling your SOC to work more efficiently, right? So yeah, that's all about the sessions. uh, my session, I hope you enjoyed and learned new things. So if you wish to reach out to me, if you have any questions around around the Sentinel or the Defender or this kind of integration, you can tweet me over uh, my Twitter ID at KeshevJan13. You can reach out there, or like there are a few blogs that I write. You can refer to those blogs as well. And yeah, a very big you thanks to our title sponsors, Microsoft, eBay, community partner, learning partner, uh, Fatian, packet developers, Road Ahead, and to our communities as well. So yeah, that's all about my session. So let me know if you have any questions. I will try to answer those all questions.
So, Keshav,